just funny that you're bringing it up. All right. Wawa pizza. Here we go again. Wawa pizza. I would not be. Have you had it? Have you had Wawa pizza? Right? Why have you not had Wawa pizza?
You know what? You know, people say a lot of times, like, don't knock it before you try it. That's one of those things I'm gonna knock. I'm sorry. I'm not eating Wawa pizza. Like, it's just not something I desire.
Okay. No, and that's exactly why I am not a Wawa pizza guy. Like, I'm a Wawa sandwich. I trust their sandwiches, you know?
Right.
Even if Sheetz started making pizza, I don't think I would trust the Sheetz pizza.
Are you Sheetz over Wawa? Or are you Wawa?
No, I'm Wawa over Sheetz.
Okay, so you're a real one.
Yeah, I'm a real one. I'm from the mountain. You know, that's
right.
That's kind of how it is. If you out here in Scranton, they love Sheetz, but in correlation with Sheetz is usually in alcohol. Like you're an alcoholic and you're just there late at nights. And that's also another thing about this area is that we like to drink weed. Yeah, I'm a party out now, but I wouldn't say I don't go to the Sheetz for my late night munchies. I go downtown and I grab some halal.
Okay.
Yeah, I go to the food trucks. They got Hispanic food truck, halal food truck, everything.
Late at night?
Yeah.
That's convenient. Yeah. That's really convenient because in the mountain, all we got is Wawa. Once Wawa, like if there's no Wawa, like everything else is closed, you have to go to Wawa. If you don't want Wawa, you're just not gonna eat that night.
Yeah, I agree. Or McDonald's. Or Mickey Danks. That's how it is.
Really?
Yeah, that's how it is. That's the mountain, bro. That's the mountain. At least from my experience. Or you go to Gouldsboro and you're driving to the Burger King in Gouldsboro. That's some Toby Hannah shit.
See, I don't know nothing about that.
Yeah.
I don't know nothing about that.
Oh, man. Well, welcome to the show. We are here for actually, quick little shout out, but we're here for the show for episode 135 featuring Onias Richardson. I'm glad I said that right. Shot by O. I made that like really something in my head that I needed to say right.
I appreciate that you said it right.
Welcome to the show, bro. Thank you for being here.
You're
a young energy, a young spirit. You're fucking killing the game in photography and just life, it seems. You know, you seem very hungry, very eager to go out there and fulfill your dreams of doing what you want to do.
Right.
So welcome to the show, bro. I'm glad you're here. I've seen you featured on another show called the One Life Podcast.
Shout out to Todd.
Mr. Todd, comedian. He seems to be, has his hands in a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
But much respect to him. You know, I will say, truthfully, that was the first show I've ever sat through the entire show. Yeah, I sat through the entire show.
That's
like
crazy.
That is the first show. I was just like, oh, wait, because you got to go searching on social media. You know, Shot by O is his social media. You'll see it right here, Shot by O. And I saw that you did the podcast with the One Life. So I thought that was pretty dope. And great energy, great soul. Really flowed the conversation really, really well. Found out a lot of good things about you. And you were still early on in your photography realm, right? So how many years are you in it now?
Now I want to say it's been like 2 years now. Just about. I started, obviously, if you watch the first one, like if you watch the first podcast I did, I started like my senior year of high school.
Mm-hmm.
Like that summertime. So yeah, we're coming up on 2 years.
Yeah, and it was because like you were just seeing a lot of people take photos at sporting events and you were like, why can't I do this?
Right.
And so you ended up getting a camera and you started learning. You actually got that camera from your mother, to my understanding, that it was her old camera and you were like, hey, I want to try this out. And so you did. And, networked really, it seems like you've networked really easily. Talk to me about the networking in the sporting outings, especially, we had mentioned that you are a track runner, so at those meets, you meet a bunch of schools and a bunch of students. How was it networking?
Yo, being at track meets was mad funny. Track meets was the funniest thing ever. I think for track meets, because at least for high school too, college is a little different. But I'll say for high school, it's really easy to talk to people at track meets because there's some people who's really serious about track, but 90% of people who's at these high school track meets are not serious about it. And they're coming here to conversate. They're coming here to troll. They're coming here to just have fun. And, even though I was good, for sure, I was good and I was serious about track, I put, my personal feelings of myself and my happiness above anything else. So, even if I go to a track meet and I have a bad meet, that's not going to ruin my day. So I would just love to just go out and talk to people and see what's going on and laugh and make TikToks and troll. Like that was, I think I carried that though. Like I carry that energy everywhere I go. Like, even shooting now, like going to basketball games or football games, like I'm on the sideline. I'm taking photos, but I'm trolling. Like
Yeah.
I'm laughing. Like I'm giggling. Like I'm talking to everybody. I'm talking to people I have no business talking to. I'm talking to the ref. I'm talking to the coach. Like they're supposed to be coaching the game. I'm talking to them just cause.
And how's that like transpiring, working well? Do you ever like heckle the other team?
Oh yeah.
And what type of reactions do you get out of them?
I remember one time they got mad. It was like, but I was in high school and they got mad because I was trolling. They was getting mad or whatever. It was like, but I didn't care because I knew what I was doing. They still came and asked me for pictures after the game too.
Very cool, man. So, you work a lot in the school. I've seen basketball, football, track. What's your favorite sport to capture
Basketball.
Behind the lens? Is basketball.
Yeah.
Okay, why is that?
Basketball, this is going to be controversial, but I think to me, basketball is the greatest sport that the world can offer,
Mm-hmm.
Energy. I think energy for football is really big too, but the thing about basketball is it's condensed because it's inside of a gym, so you hear everything. I love hearing noise. I love like being on the court and you feel like you can see what they're feeling on the basketball court. Like you could like hear what they're saying when I'm sitting there and I'm shooting. The benches is right there. The cheerleaders is normally like I can interact like directly with the cheerleaders when I'm shooting basketball. I feel like everything is just more accessible in the gym rather than outside.
So you're working in these tight knit gyms. You're getting in there. What was one of your first opportunities to like post graduation of high school? What was one of the first opportunities that you had to come back and just work as a photographer rather than being a student in that realm? You were actually an employee.
It's actually really quickly. After I graduated, I had a lot of friends who were still in school, and I'm gonna be honest. I didn't think I was that good. I didn't think I was ready for it. But my friends, they just wanted some photos, and they was feeling. They're like, "Yo, I told all my coaches, like, yo, bro, please, like, we want you to come shoot our football games. Like, we want you to come on the bus." I didn't come on the bus with them or anything like that. I didn't go to their away games, but East Stroudsburg South, a lot of those kids over there, they went and they told their coaches, and the coaches ended up talking with the athletic trainer. The athletic director. So then after that, then I would just like I had my own media pass, and I would come to the games and I would shoot
That's
all
badass.
the football games. Yeah, it was cool as hell. Like,
yeah.
And it got to the point where I had a real relationship with the team. Like I'm in the locker room taking photos and videos of them and whatnot. Like it was really cool. And that was the first time, like directly after I graduated, that I had like a specific job that I was doing.
And you were doing that on a weekly basis for one team in particular?
Mm-hmm.
That's really cool, man. So it was East Stroudsburg South.
Yeah.
They were doing that for football.
Mm-hmm.
And then what doors has that opened for you since then?
Oh my goodness. That opened a lot of doors for me because, it's a credibility thing.
Mm-hmm.
We talk about photography, especially freelance. Oh my goodness. Is it so hard to really get around? Because especially when you're doing sports, shoot anything, to be honest. Freelance photography is very hard because if you want to, the thing about freelance is there's nobody that's restricting you from doing anything. I can shoot whatever I want to, but that comes with, you got to have media pass, you got to have credentials, you got to be able to get into places. That was like the biggest struggle going into doing what I wanted to do because, I wanted to shoot concerts, I wanted to shoot comedy shows, I wanted to go and take pictures of whatever I wanted to, but that meant having to, get credentials. And I think that made me more credible. So when I would ask and say, hey, I'm the photographer for Stroudsburg South. I've shot here, I've done this game, I've done that game. Then people would be like, hey, I've seen you before. Yeah, you can come shoot at my field. And, that's what happened during the entirety of the football season where like a lot of other schools would see that like I was shooting South and then they wouldn't let me on their fields.
So it's like you were building the portfolio. Mm-hmm. That's all you needed is for someone to help you build the portfolio and have that credential within that type of network, because the school network is not, they don't let anyone just get on there and do their types of work. So you've been working, especially, have you been to the Mountain Valley Conference championship games and stuff like that? Yeah. You get exclusive tickets, you get exclusive passes just to go to those games through the school. That's pretty badass, bro. That's pretty badass. How many so the championship game, the Mountain Valley championship game, the conference games, right? Have you done anything past that? Like, does basketball do a nationals? I don't even know if that's a real thing. Or is it just your valley, your conference championship?
Kind of. I've been to a state game.
Okay.
I think to me though, my favorite game that I've been to is definitely the EPC championship game.
Okay. Northampton and
yeah, in Pokemon West actually.
Yeah.
They did that at the PPL Center. Yo, that was magical to me. The PPL Center is beautiful. It's because it's an actual arena.
Yeah.
That was probably like my favorite thing that I've shot, or at least like the favorite place that I've shot at. But yeah, I've been to state games. I've been to district championship games. I've done a lot of that.
That's pretty dope, man. That's awesome. So being so young in the game, building a portfolio, building a credentials, with that backing you, what's like your pitch that you usually, so you had mentioned you're trying to shoot more different events. You're a freelance photographer. A large chunk of your portfolio has to do with sports outings, as well as just headshots, just for people in different venues and stuff like that. But you're trying to get into different avenues such as concerts and events or, showcases. How do you find those pools? How do you network to those pools? And what's your pitch to them?
Well, actually, I think I do a pretty good job with that too. Obviously, I was telling you about some relationships with some artists. My best friend, he started making music in the summertime last year when we had just graduated.
That's Trey, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I saw the chain. I saw the chain.
Yeah, he was going stupid.
Onias the Don. We'll talk about that too, buddy.
Oh, for sure. So Trey was going nuts in the summertime, and since he was going crazy and everybody was seeing his work and stuff like that. Obviously, I was the one filming for him. I was the one taking all the photos.
Mm-hmm.
So that that was pretty light for me. Because then other people would see him and he's getting hundreds of thousands of views, whatnot. So then they would just come to me and say, "Oh, well, you shot for him, like you shoot for me," and then
collaborations.
Right.
Have you ever shot in a film form, like where it's those developing films or anything like that, or is everything that you've worked with a digital up to this point?
Okay, can I shoot with film? Absolutely. My guy DSP Mello, he shoots we've done a couple of shoots together. Sometimes I'll do the digital, he does the film. I'm not a film guy because I don't like having to wait for my photos. I'm very impatient. But yeah, I can't shoot with film.
Nice, man. So I've heard DSP. I've heard of him. I've never met him. I've seen his work recently. It's come up on my page. So who are some of the other photographers, maybe videographers that you're working with out in this area?
Definitely DSP. That's my guy right there. He put me on to 90% everything that I do. He's a big one. Definitely my guy Tyron Brewington, that's my guy. My guy Ghost Town Graphics, Ant, he goes to ESU. I've worked with him a lot. I got a lot of people who I work with, man. I could probably go.
Well, what do you learn? What are some of the things? What are the key things that you've learned from a few of them? Whether it be post-production, actually shooting, equipment-wise, stuff like that. What are some of the things?
Melo's huge on, trying to get me to get into videography. That's my next step.
Okay.
Because I talk to Melo a lot and he tells me, I do really good lifestyle work. He does a lot. He's into lifestyle work a lot. So,
elaborate on lifestyle work. Is that more so?
Okay, yeah, I could definitely tell you. So, a lot of stuff that you might go and you might want to just post something on Instagram for, say, I might go out and take you to a really elaborate niche spot. I think to me that's kind of more like a lifestyle thing, where I'm just taking photos of people and different shots and trying different things. To me, that's more of a lifestyle thing. Portraits and we kind of just put our own twist on them a lot of times.
Okay.
That's more of a creative lifestyle workout.
For example, I saw on your page there was the Real Zelly's out. He was in a record shop. A record shop.
Yeah.
And you guys did a shoot in a record shop. Is that something that you would consider kind of lifestyle?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes,
right.
sir.
That's a clean little photo shoot that you guys did there. How many photos did you guys take and how many made their way out?
I want to say I normally, if it's a sporting event, I'll probably shoot maybe 2,000 photos.
Mm-hmm.
If it's a regular, lifestyle creative shoot, maybe like 500. But
500, yeah, that's a lot. That's a
I
lot,
mean,
bro.
it's a lot, but 500 photos probably not coming out of 500 that I take. Because my camera also snaps really quickly, so I might get like 7 shots out of just one shot I'm trying to take.
Well, when you're doing these lifestyle shoots and you have to get real creative with it, you know, how does that come? Like when someone hits you up with that idea, do you come with a game plan and an execution, maybe some angles? Do you try to tell a story throughout that shoot? You know, so it's like, oh, we walked into the store, we started looking at certain records. You know, the record, even the name of the record can set the tone, the vibe to the shoot. Does it get that wide, the creativity for you?
As far as creativity goes, I like to know what I'm gonna shoot before I'm shooting.
Okay.
Just because I like to have like a mindset, like already going into it of like what I want to do. I think also too, you know, I'll just get in there and I like to just get straight to it. I like to wherever I'm at, like I like to just get straight to shooting. And I always like to have somebody with me because I'm not perfect. And, you know, obviously I'm very creative, but I don't think of everything. So I like to bring somebody with me. Why? Because they're like somebody's always gonna point something out that I'm not doing right.
Agreed.
And you know, they'll say, hey, like, that was a really good idea. Do this too. And I'll be like, wow, that's fire, bro.
That's a great idea.
So, you know, like I definitely like to just get straight to it and do, because once things start happening, more ideas start popping up in my head. And then the more I can just keep on shooting and the more ideas I can just throw. I'm definitely a pre-planner, but I'm definitely like 10 times more in the moment.
Gotcha. So when you're just in there, you're in a flow. How do you know you're locked in? You're in that exact moment, bro. Have people ever told you, oh, you're having fun? Okay. Yeah. Gotcha.
If I'm having fun, if I'm laughing, I'm joking, that's when I'm flowing.
That's awesome, bro. That's really dope. And how do people book you?
I had a booking website in my bio, but more or less because I'm so personable, people just end up texting me. Like, actually, people book me a lot through recommendation. Like someone would text somebody else and they'll say, hey, like I got a photographer for this. Or they'll say, oh, I need a photographer. I'm like, oh yeah, here's my guy right here. And then I just end up like sending my number through or something like that.
So now that you have been doing this for quite some time and now you're in college, I know you were like kind of mentioning whether or not what school you were going to commit to on the One Life, but I don't think you disclosed it not once. Did you? Can you disclose that now? Is that public knowledge now?
It's not public now.
Okay.
You know, it's crazy. I just figured out what school I'm gonna go to because right now I'm in community college.
Okay.
Right now I've actually it was just this weekend I finally figured out where I'm gonna go to school at next semester. Somewhere in New Jersey.
Okay, so somewhere in New Jersey. That was the goal. Yeah. That's what it seemed like, somewhere in New Jersey. So you're going to be going to New Jersey and then you're going to be, so you're in college now, community college. I'm going to assume Northampton Community College?
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool. Are you running there? Are you running track?
I'm not running track for Northampton, but I've been keeping my legs in shape because I didn't know if I was going to come back to the track or not, for real.
Gotcha.
It was something like I had to really sit on and really like wonder because I didn't want track to take me from photography. But I got a couple calls from a couple coaches for schools that I really like. And so once I kind of got those calls again, I really got motivated again. Started running just by myself and started put myself in a couple track meets just to fill out the college vibe.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, and are you networking and taking photography in college?
Yeah.
So
I'm a media production major.
I'm sorry?
I'm a media production major.
Media production major.
Yes,
okay,
sir.
So have you been able to shoot at a track meet or a track football game, I'm college. What an asshole. College football game, college track meet, anything like that?
I've actually shot a lot of college events too. I shot at Lehigh a couple of times.
Okay.
I shot at Lafayette. That's probably my favorite basketball team to shoot. Lafayette basketball in Easton.
What's the difference between the college and the high school?
I think high school, it's very different. I think college atmosphere is it's louder, but I think high school it's a lot of assholes in high school because they all know each other. They all see each other on Instagram and stuff. They all live near each other and whatnot. And, like high school kids, like they're unfiltered. So I think that that's like the difference. Like college kids are unfiltered too, but it's like a different type. Like the college kids are they're probably drunk and, just be
They're
honest.
bugged out. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But like the high school kids, like they just act like they're drunk, but they're not drunk. And they're 10 times funnier because they're going to call you at your name. I think that's kind of like the difference as far as like the atmosphere goes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it's definitely louder at college though. Because like, especially if you go to like a Lehigh or Lafayette, like they're on ESPN.
Mm-hmm.
So, they're more known, obviously, than like a Pokemon West is.
Yeah, they're going nuts.
Right.
They're going nuts over there.
Mhm.
What is some of your favorite moments to capture in a game? Is it the crowd, the interaction between the crowds, the actual gameplay? What are some of the favorite things that you like to capture in a game atmosphere?
Oh, that's really good. I think my favorite thing to capture is an and one.
And one, okay,
and one.
Yeah.
I think that's my favorite. I really like emotion.
They're rowdy. They're rowdy when that shit happens. And one, bum.
Yeah, like that's
on his head. Count that shit. And one, they be laying on the ground like mad dramatic.
Yeah, always. Oh nah, oh nah.
Wow. No, I get it, man. That's really awesome. The and one in basketball. How about in football?
Football, that's really good. I really, you know what? After a big hit, yeah, I love big hits.
Somebody get the medic. Somebody get the medic. He's on the ground. He's done.
The big hit to me is like the equivalent of an and one.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, have I seen some like I've seen some hits where I had to turn around. Oh my goodness, is he okay?
Is he okay? Ref, can we check up on him? Yeah, no, that's awesome, man. That's a great experience. You had mentioned videographies. Are you trying to do that? You said next chapter?
Oh yeah.
Next chapter?
Yeah, trust me, I'm working. This summer I'll probably end up getting a new camera. I'm not gonna say which one, but I end up getting a new camera. And I think I'm gonna start more on the video side. I'm gonna still do photos. Don't worry. Anybody who wants photos, I'm still doing photos. But I'm definitely gonna venture more. I've done like small video projects and like I've definitely done like smaller things and like I could like try and like show my versatility. But I'm gonna definitely focus a lot more on the video side very soon.
What projects are you referring to? Have you I know you've done some vlogs, anything other than vlogs that you've done?
I got a couple kids. I got this kid from South who hit me up and he wants to do like a documentary type of video.
Okay.
I was thinking about like working on something like that because I think that would be really cool to do like a documentary type of video. But cinematically, I think that would be really hard.
Are there any directors or that come off the top of the dome that you can think of that you really like their style and you respect their way of directing?
I wouldn't say a director as far as a documentary would go. I would say more of like a videographer.
Okay.
Because like the way I'm picturing it probably isn't the way you're picturing it.
Of course not. It all depends on what movie though. We need the plot.
Nah, it wouldn't be a movie. It would be like a documentary, style, right?
Okay.
It would be more of like a vlog style documentary.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I've really been very interested in documentaries. So but like vlog style I don't know. You're definitely gonna see it. And it's definitely gonna be like a very like cinematic piece, and it's probably gonna be like 30 minutes long. But I would absolutely love to show you like I will show after the show. I'll probably show you what I'm talking about too.
Okay, so let's say you had to do a documentary of Rocky Balboa.
Ooh,
right? You know Rocky Balboa,
of course.
What are you gonna try to include in that documentary to really bring the essence of his life to the people watching?
See, the thing about it is, when you talk about like documentaries and you talk about like bringing life or showing somebody your life, you want to show somebody the conversations that they can't access. I think that like those small conversations or like those small interactions that people don't see every single day are the biggest things that you can include when you're showing somebody, because on the internet or in the media, like you can see a whole different personality versus when they're by themselves or when they're around their family,
Mhm.
like in their homes, like, like talking to their friends. Like those are the conversations that I really want to include.
It's because we tiptoe around the
Right.
conversations when we know
People are
that
watching.
other people are watching. Exactly. 100%, man. Like when you're doing vlogs, it's like, that's when you see the most authentic version of that person. So let's talk about your vlogs here. Oh, Onias the Don.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
Onias the Don. I'm really trying not to fuck it up now once this whole show.
You're not messing with it.
Onias the Don is your personal YouTube page. There is a collection of videos there from when you were in high school, Homecoming King. And your most recent one was about 7 months ago of you guys just went out and went to ESU and you guys took over. And that looked like a blast. That looked like a
was a
great
movie.
time. Yeah, that that looked like a great time. And when you're doing those vlogs, you can see who you are because the photos, they don't tell you who Onias is. But these videos, the interactions that you have with people, people who you're meeting the first time, show, in my eyes, that you're very, you said you're personable. Like you like to connect to people and do that. And you can kind of see it through the photography, but you see it more in the video interactions. And that's what we're referring to.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, like I'm very personable. I like to have fun. I like to laugh. I like to giggle, like. So that's definitely like where you could find more of me. Definitely more the immature side, like the
dude, you're young, the living the life side of you. Yeah, no, that's fine.
Trust me, I'm a person before I'm a photographer. I'm a person before I'm an athlete. Like I tell my friends this all the time. Like, like everything doesn't have to be all business. We live one time.
True.
There has to be a side of us that's having fun.
Preach it.
But it just happens that I like to have fun in everything that I'm doing because, like photography is my job. But if I'm doing this job, then I want to enjoy it because I want to be able to wake up every single day and be excited for what I'm about to do.
Yeah. Yeah. What space are you trying to get into in photography when you go to New Jersey?
I think same thing. I really do. Actually, I'm not going to say that because that's boring. Yo, I'm trying to get into Vogue. I don't know where I'm gonna get to Vogue.
Okay, Vogue. So
magazine.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know how I'm gonna
do it. That's a goal. That's a goal for yourself. Let's hear the steps. You don't know how. Let's start.
I don't know how I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna be honest, like Slam or Vogue or something like that. For like, I don't know. I want to. Let's do a magazine. I want to because my father. He, for the last 20 years of his life, he's been in New York City.
Okay.
Right now he lives in Jersey, but he's been in New York City. And my father he's got all the connects and he's been in New York. And I definitely want to use what he's got and try to build because I think that, like there's endless capabilities being from, being in Essex County, New Jersey and being 40 minutes from New York. So, I definitely want to be able to shoot celebrities. And shoot, maybe get back into doing music videos again. But I just want to, I want to see where I could go.
Just be in the spot, be in a space.
I mean, obviously sports is my number one. Sports is, that's close to my heart. And I think like, I want to take sports as far as possible, but outside of sports, like, let's see where we can go. Let's see what we can do.
Like Fashion Week.
Yeah.
Like a fashion weekend. I think you should just apply, I mean, we just had Tay Baby here last podcast and she's going to be one of the models at Fashion Week. And I'm like, have you done a lot of fashion or have you done a lot of modeling? She's like, not really, but I've done it. And I'm like, word. So like, I'm like, how'd you do that? She's like, I just applied. And she's young yet as well. I believe she's like 22, maybe even 24, somewhere between that range. I don't remember. But point being is to do something like that, like Fashion Week. I know our editor, shout out Z Visions. Okay, Z Visions. He is our videographer, editor who does all the post-production podcast editor and work. And he has done Philly Fashion Week.
Oh, that's fire.
Philly Fashion Week.
That's
and
fire.
I think he just put in an application and that's all it was. And he locked in and it was really dope. So it's kind of cool because you're extremely young, dude. Like extremely young. Like you have a lot to go ahead and you seem very hungry, very driven to fulfill this dream for yourself, and what could you accredit that testimony and that mindset to?
My mother, bro. It's like, cause, like for real, like a lot of my life has just been me and my mom. Like, me and my mom been going through it. And whenever my mom really like she needs something or she like wants to have something, like it's one of those things like, nobody's gonna tell me no. So, like I definitely adopted that for myself. And now it's kind of one of those things like I'm so young, but if I want something, like I'm not gonna try to wait for somebody else to get it for me. I'm not gonna try to like, sit on it until something happens, because that's not how life works. You have to, if you want to do something, you have to get it for yourself. Like, you have to do it.
You got to go and get it. Michael, do you want to go and get it?
Yeah, I'm getting it right now. What are you talking about?
Michael is creating a movie. So he's like, do you guys major in the same major actually?
What's your major?
What's your
Film
major?
and TV.
I'm sorry?
Film and TV.
Film and
that's my
TV.
major,
Yeah, basically.
Okay. Yeah, so
I'm not making a movie right now.
Well, you were making a movie.
Yeah, all of us were collabing making a movie, but I was helping. I'm just saying.
Okay.
You want to make a movie?
Huh?
Do you want to make a movie?
Oh yeah, I want to make something.
This guy director mindset, you know what I mean? But not music videos, so to speak.
It don't gotta be. If you try to make a movie, we can make it. I'm down to make a movie.
Dude, I'm gonna make a movie soon, so if you want to make a movie, let's make a movie.
This is what I'm talking about. Connections.
Let's make a movie, bro.
I'll talk to you after this.
For sure.
What was the question? Oh, if I'm gonna...
Just if you're going to go get it.
Oh, yeah, I'm getting it right now. I'm getting it right now, bro.
Just tapping in Michael here for a moment. Real quick, shout out the hat, Jazzy Lion Man here. I wanted to shout it out earlier. We did a vlog. We're speaking on vlogs right now. We did a vlog. We went over to Philadelphia to go check out Jazzy Lion Man's show. I went ahead and purchased myself a cassette here. So shout out to him. It's a red cassette. I know that the hat does look like a Trump hat, but it's not. It is a Jazzy Lion Man hat. And as a matter of fact, I'm getting hot. So I'm going to take this jacket off real quick. But, what do you have planned for this year actively right now? So you're in school, right? Mm-hmm. So trying to balance school and the dream that you're chasing right now, how difficult has that been for you, or is it working out easy?
You know what? I could tell you it hasn't been the easiest thing in the world. Especially because I'm in community college, so I'm driving everywhere. But it's definitely that's a lot of time management. My friends always tell me I'm old, so I'm probably the best time manager out of all my friends. So I've definitely just been trying to manage my time the best way that I can. Sometimes that means putting some things aside, or sometimes that means like creating time. Finding time out of nowhere to do whatever I need to do, but definitely just
how often are you shooting? How often are you shooting now?
Right now, I'm probably shooting like once a week.
Once a week. Okay, what's the subject that you're shooting?
I want to do a lot more lifestyle work. Like I was telling you, that's what I've been doing a lot more. I'll probably get some. I'm really interested in baseball.
Okay,
I think I might shoot some baseball soon.
Trying to capture that ball coming out of the pitcher's hand. That's like the and one.
It's gonna be a struggle.
That's like the and one right there. That's what I'm saying.
I'm definitely looking into shooting a couple more spring sports. I haven't really gotten to it like that. I did like a track meet for my old team. But I'm gonna definitely look into doing a lot more spring sports. And I'm definitely gonna tune it up too, because the end of my semester is in like 2 weeks.
Okay.
So I'm definitely gonna tune it up. But as of right now, a lot of lifestyle work for sure.
A lot of lifestyle work.
Yeah.
Good, man. Good. And I saw that on your website because it's so up. Like people can book you. So just hit them up if you're trying to do some lifestyle work. I would love to do some lifestyle work right after this. We'll go outside and go take some photos in the hat.
Let me know.
Something. This is a fur coat. I don't wear a fur coat often because I only own one. So
I'm trying to get like, I need me a fur coat.
Hey, Salvation Army, bro. $10.
That's fire.
$10, bro.
You big on thrifting?
Hell yeah. Oh, that's what we do, man. Come on.
My guys love to thrift.
I'm over here, just holding some pennies and trading them for a lot, man. You know, we out here, we're just struggling, we're trying to live. Talk to me about some of the equipment that you use. I know you had started on a Canon Rebel 7, T7, right?
Yes, sir.
Canon Rebel 7, I think we have the...
This is good memory, by the way.
Thanks,
you
bro.
impressing me with this memory.
I'm locked in. I'm locked in.
I can tell.
So you were using the 7, and you had transitioned into Sony. So
Facts.
from Canon to Sony, that's actually our editor, Zach, did the same thing, Canon to Sony.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he loves Sony much better. So is that your preference? And if so, why?
I do really like Sony. I'm well versed in both. Sometimes there is days where I might shoot still with Canon. There's some days where I do it, but I really like Sony. I like their video quality and I like their coloring in their photos and their videos. I think the color is just like, I think it's just 100 times better than Canon. I don't really know why. As far as photo goes, I don't know why. But for some reason, like, I think it's like 16-bit. I'm sure now I'm probably speaking another language.
No, listen, don't underestimate the middleman, bro. I got a lot of experience here a little bit, okay? You were speaking about aperture and stuff like that.
Oh,
like,
yeah?
I'm familiar with that.
All
You know,
right,
I'm familiar
all
with some
right,
of this, you know?
All right. Yeah, you know, I think, but I also haven't shot with any like high level Canon cameras.
Does your school let you rent cameras out at all?
When I was in high school, yeah. It wasn't really a rent out. It was just like my teacher just really liked me.
Okay.
And so she let me use her cameras. There would be days where I would have her camera for like a week. And I'd just be like, especially when I had her camera, I would just go and try to shoot anything possible. She introduced me to the mirrorless photos and the mirrorless cameras. The mirrorless cameras.
Mirrorless.
Okay, so there's two different types of cameras. There's mirrorless cameras and there's just mirror cameras, DSLRs.
Okay, which we have a DSLR here. So mirrorless doesn't have the screen on it, correct?
Mirrorless does have a screen.
Oh. Talk to me.
Everything in a mirrorless camera, it's all basically just electronic. It's a fully electronic camera. And with a DSLR, it uses a mirror that captures the light.
Gotcha.
So then it captures the light and then it displays back on the photo. While you have a mirrorless camera, it's fully electronic, doesn't use a mirror, and it's like a lot of like high tech sensors and stuff like that. But they're a lot more expensive.
So that's what you kind of have now, though.
Yeah, I have a
and that's probably a clear reason as to why the lighting is a lot different on the newer camera.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting. That's something I didn't know. That's
fine.
Well, thank you for putting me on.
To teach you something.
Yeah, and you were talking about the hardware. You know, the lenses, the glass. You know that you got. Like, some of the lenses that you have. What do you have, and what do you use often?
My favorite lens that I got is this. Is a 50 millimeter.
Okay.
Shout out to Mr. Nemhart at high school. He put me on to the Nifty 50, and I was using Mellows 50 for a while, and when I was using his 50, I'm like, nah, I need one of these. And I got one for my Sony. And I'm not gonna lie, that's probably like the best purchase I made because that 50 millimeter carried me through the entirety of basketball season. Like I love using the 50. I shoot videos with it on the 50.
Was it like the depth perception of it that was really beneficial to you?
Yeah, because it's very like, obviously not the widest lens ever, but for what I do, it's wide enough. But it's still basically like your eye focal length. So you see everything with the 50 millimeter as if you would be seeing something while you're looking.
Okay. So it's like clear as day, like I can grab it. Like I'm literally here and I'm seeing this.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
You see it from my perspective.
That's the essence that you try to capture in every photo and try to really highlight?
Yeah, I want you to feel what I'm feeling. When we're talking about, like me posting these photos, I try to take the photos that I love because, it was the moments. It's moments for me. This is a moment that like I had and, like I really enjoyed this, like, because people tell me I work quick. I work really fast because I'm showing you my favorite parts of the game. Or I'm showing you my favorite parts of the day. Or I'm showing you, like my favorite thing to look at, you know?
Do you ever look at a photo and then hear what happened after that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
That's literally why I like the N1 so much. Because you hear the N1, like, you know, like you get the photo, you could see like the
Yeah.
But like
that's the flex. That's the pose.
Like you also know like he just got an N1 if you see him yelling. So you can hear that. Like I can hear my photos.
Yeah. Okay, cool. I wanted to ask you, have you ever made prints? Do you plan on selling prints? Do you ever offer prints to people?
I've never offered prints, but crazy enough, I actually have like mad prints. And funny enough, I got like a bunch of prints on my wall, actually, of not only just photos that I took, but you know, also photos that I'm in, like, you know, just throughout my high school.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I got a couple from like maybe like the past couple of months, but yeah, definitely, I got prints. And if people want prints too, you can definitely hit me up, ask me, because I can do prints for you.
Do prints, you know, and you ever like consider going to like a pop-up and setting up a table full of prints?
Crazy. I've never thought of that. You think I should do that?
Yeah, 1,000%. So there's a lot. So I don't know what the Poconos does as far as like if they have like monthly events going on as like, so Scranton, I mention this all the time. They do something here called First Friday. You go into like stores, like a mom and pop shop or something, right? Or a bar. There was actually a bar called the V Spot, and the artist had all of his work on the wall.
That's fire.
All of his work, whether it's painters, photography, like people do that. And like they'll put a price point on it. Like you could take a photo and be like EPC Championship, Pleasant Valley versus, I know I'm just giving teams that are wrong, but Pleasant Valley versus Stroudsburg. And one shot, $10. $10 print. You want it, you buy it, da 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 da. But it's just another way to network. You know, one of the places that and they're all about helping the younger crowd here as well. So that's built for people to network. People love seeing the younger people out there doing it because it's like, oh, this is great. There's a new generation coming through, and we can support them and we can see, because you know everyone has a different opinion, but when they see the younger generation getting after it and we're actually out there, it's hard for them to say that we're just lazy pieces of shit.
Right.
So that's just what it is. So that's First Friday. There's things that you can do. I'm sure I could help you get into one of these spots, or your portfolio speaks for itself. So what I want to tell you is that don't underestimate the value of your portfolio, because your portfolio will speak for itself. You have, we have a lot, we've spoken a lot about, you know, lifestyle and for sports, you know, but there's other avenues that I'm sure that you'll capture just as well. It would just be a different area with different setting of lighting, because that's definitely like if you were at a concert and there's lasers and shit like that, you got to account for that. But
yeah, facts.
I believe your portfolio can do that. Like there's one photo that I really want to reference here because it looked like a fun shoot. It's like a lifestyle shoot, but at the same token, I was like, this can be an album cover. Whether or not it was an album cover, I don't know.
Let me ask you, are you talking about the Wine to Us shoot?
I'm sorry?
Was it the Wine to Us shoot where we all, where they dressed up in the suits?
I don't know if it was that one where they're playing cards.
Oh yeah, that was the Why Not Us shoot.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, all right, Why Not Us? Let's talk about Why Not Us, because that seems like it's something that you hone in, and probably a founding father. You're part of Group A, are you not?
How do you know about Group A?
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
You see. So you're part of Group A. So tell me about Why Not Us, because that seems like it's something that is important to you.
Why Not Us? It was the guys. You know, that's the movement. It was me, obviously, and Trey. We was in high school, it was senior year, and you know, like it wasn't really a thing. Like it wasn't like a thing to us. It was just like something we say, because a lot of people, what they do is they'll try to you know undermine the things that you want, your goals, whatever, and you'll tell them what your goal is, and they'll say like, oh, like, are you sure that that's what you want to do? Like my friend Xavier, he plays basketball. He'll tell somebody like, yeah, like I'm trying to go D1, you know, because that was the talk of the town, like where are you gonna go to school at, or where are you gonna do this, or what are you gonna do? You know, people would try to hold you to where people will try to tell you like what you can do with your own life, and they'll try to like minimize your goals, and they'll try to tell you that your goals sound crazy, and it's kind of like, all right, well, why can't he go D1? Why can't I go shoot a music video for Drake? Why can't Trey be the biggest rapper in the area? Why can't Trey be the biggest rapper in the world? Like, what's the problem with that? So then, like, it was just something we said, like, why not us? And then that turned into us, like, creating kind of like a movement of it where we would have everybody in our, like, in the area say it. And then that just became like our group name. We threw a party one time over the summer, and it was like, "What's your party name?" Like, there was some girls asked, like, "What's your party name?" It was like, why not us?
Yeah, why not us?
That's just when we decided, like, let's make it a group.
You guys can really take that far because of the avenues that everyone's in. Trey makes music. Your photography / videography. Just people networking, having who makes clothes in a brand, bro. Someone's got to be the clothing guy.
Yo, we got a clothing guy, but he's been playing around because he made us all our designs. And like, we're like, yo, like, it's my guy, Mari. We keep telling him, like, yo, like, you keep showing us these prints that you're making. Like, he's showing us a whole bunch of designs. And he's been making them for months. We're like, bro, like, we'll put the money into it. Like, we'll do whatever. Like, let's drop the clothes, bro. We got a lot of fire stuff.
Why not us? It's a whole movement. I like that. It can definitely transcend. It can go far, and it's a positive message. Sure. I've even thought about that myself at one time. Like, why not me? Be the best podcaster. Oh, you're gonna be the next Joe Rogan. Why not me? Because
why not you?
Because people who know us, they'll put a standard or they'll put a cap to where we can be, bro. And I've been doing podcasting for years now. I've had failed podcasts and I've resurgence, and here we are with this one. And at this point, like, the things that we're even achieving outside of the podcast, but the podcast had led me to these directions. It's like, what the fuck? It just doesn't make any sense, And people are now seeing the rewards, and I'm benefiting off of the hours and hours of, doing what I wanted to do. And even still now to them, it's like, how? Like, how did he do that? Like, it doesn't make any sense. And it's like, I've been doing it. I've been putting it in your face the entire time. You just haven't been watching.
Right.
So now that it's all coming together, shout out Atmosphere, shout out the Lounge. That's one of the biggest things I'm referring to is we're going to be opening up like a club.
That's fire, bro.
Like me, like little old me, like that shit's not right. Like that shit don't make sense.
Fire,
but it don't make sense to me. And I know it don't make sense to a lot of people out there watching. Right. But how do we get there? Through this.
Right.
How are you going to get to that music video with Drake? Through your work, everywhere. It's going to take you far, and I think you're going to blow up on social media too with it, like imagine if you go to like a different country.
Right. Facts.
And, now it's Onias Richardson and you're doing a vlog, but through the vlog, you're capturing your experience and also capturing the beauty and the essence of the world. Facts. And now you're printing prints of Japan.
That's fire. That's fire.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like, Onias going to hit me up in like 10 years, be like, Kev, what the fuck, man? You got it. I'm in Japan right now. We're doing a music, we're doing everything like that. That'd be crazy. But at this time, why don't we tap into Tea Time? Not brought to you by, but inspired by Arizona Iced Tea.
Waiting for it.
So cheers to Tea Time, my good man. I'm going to shake mine up.
Goodness.
And we're going to get into the session. ASMR for the people. So that noise right there is ASMR, right? Well, let's take this up. That noise right there is ASMR. And yesterday I had a relaxing Saturday. I loved it. I was able to chill out. I'm a working man, bro. So when I get to relax, it's amazing. And I'm not gonna lie to you, for an hour straight, you know what a Foley artist is?
Nah.
Okay, so for an hour straight, I just went on a deep dive on Foley artists. Okay, so what is a Foley artist? A Foley artist is those people who make the sounds in movies that, like, if you wanted to imitate like stepping on sand, they're the people who make those sounds.
That's fine.
It's like they're over there like crunching shit. Like, dude, it's so weird.
But that shit is important.
They were puncturing oranges to get the sound of like a gory head smash.
Ooh.
Yeah, like it was an hour of my life, guys. I just tapped into Foley artists, and I don't know. Check it out if you're bored.
Nah,
if you're bored,
I will.
Foley
this
artists.
is important.
It is, and it's monumental. Like what they do and what you guys do, and especially with the visions that the both of you guys have. Like that's another aspect to just know about. So anyway, the Foley artist, Tea Time, not brought to you by, but inspired by. Onias, I need you to pick the question here and then hand me the paper And you got a lot of wristbands on, so I got to know what the hell that's all about. Because you got a lot there. So, all right. So the question of the day is, if you could, oh, wow, this is a good one. If you could have chosen your name, what would you have picked? If you could have chosen your name, what would you have picked? That is a great question. One to think about, one that I don't even have an answer for.
Damn, that's crazy.
But through writing this question, I thought about this. Have you ever had like an interaction with someone and like, all right, I'll tell people my name's Kevin. And they'll be like, you don't look like a Kevin. I'm like, what the fuck? What the fuck does a Kevin look like though? Let me let me ask you that. Like, have you ever had that?
Yeah.
You don't look like an Onias. Well, the fuck did you expect?
I'll be asking people. I'll be like, yo, like, what do I look like? What does my name look like to you?
What did they say?
I'll be hearing some crazy shit. Like, no BS. Like, I'll be hearing some crazy stuff. One time I heard like Jordan or something like that. Like, I don't be knowing where that come from. I heard Isaiah one time, and it's funny because that's my middle name.
Okay.
I
could see an Isaiah. Then again, how could I see an Isaiah? What an asshole. Sorry.
Nah, it's not even like.
But
you know what? Because I'm one of those people. Like, I hate to say it because I'm in communications class right now, and they told us we can't, like, we gotta stop the stereotyping stuff. I really do be like stereotyping on the low.
It's hard.
It's really
it's hard.
It's impossible to not do it.
Yeah,
it's really impossible to not do it. So like, you know, like I'll stereotype certain names like Kevin.
Okay,
like, I think of somebody Hispanic when I think of a Kevin.
Okay,
right. Like,
that's interesting.
Jordan, I'll think of like some sort of black guy.
Yeah. Or for some reason, like an athletic girl.
Ooh.
Yeah, Jordan is like.
You know what's crazy? My sister's name is Jordan.
Michael's dying right now. What, did I break you?
That is like 100% true.
It's crazy because my sister's name is Jordan.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's not athletic at all.
Damn, sorry, Jordan.
Nah, you cool, Jordan.
All right. So name. If I could change my name. All right. So I like Kevin. So I'll leave Kevin as is. I'm not a big fan of my middle name.
What's your middle
Okay.
name?
My middle name is Alberto.
Ooh.
Okay. So Albert in American. And I'm a little bit heavy set. I was just talking, I need to get back to the gym. They used to call me Fat Albert, and I fucking hated that shit, bro.
Jeez.
I fucking hated that.
Oh
so
my
if I could
goodness.
change anything, it'd be my middle name. And Kevin, shit. What goes well? You know, like I had an alter ego. His name was Hector, but I don't think I should be Hector because that's like real Hispanic, you know.
Well, I mean, what's wrong with being Hispanic?
All right, you know what? Kevin El Sol, the son, Martinez.
That's fire.
Yeah, the soul.
That's
El
fire.
Sol. That's me. You can change your middle name, last name, first name, whatever you want to change, bro. What are you gonna change here?
I mean, I guess I would change my first name. I'll make my first name like Chris or something.
Chris? Real
My
simple.
first name like
Just,
Chris or something.
so like on your birth certificate, is it gonna read Christopher or Chris?
Nah, Chris.
Just Chris with a K?
It's Chris. Nah, with a K is crazy. Cause then
KRIS?
yeah, I don't know. That's lame. Nah, we gonna go Chris.
Michael, would you change your name at all?
Yeah, I'll change my last name.
Yo, your last name's it's awesome. Like it's gas.
It's Incarnado.
That's gas.
That's fire.
That's
Nah,
gas,
fire.
bro.
You think so?
Yeah, that's
I
What
don't
would you
know,
change
like
it to?
Gunn or something, or like Smith. I don't know, just something
Smith?
different.
Something basic?
Michael Gunn, like something.
Laser
Michael Carnado
beam.
sounds so
I done
formal.
seen some cool ass names though. I've seen some really cool names. I seen this one guy. Nah, actually, Usain Bolt is a cool ass name.
It is.
Usain Bolt is cool as hell.
And to think that happened just like that, like
Yeah, because he's
what's
dumb
going on
fast.
here?
Like Usain Bolt, you know a name you can't like repeat neither. Like LeBron James. That's like a name. Like I don't think you're ever gonna make a name like that. Like flows like that. Like LeBron, like that sounds fine. And I know it's a whole thing to glaze LeBron right now. I'm a Lakers fan too, so I get it. But LeBron James is a fire name.
LeBron James is a fire name. What I think Matthew McConaughey.
That sounds
That's a
that goes hard too.
Woody Harrelson. Woody Harrelson's a good name.
My one boss at my job, his name is Leo Youngblood.
Ooh,
Leo Youngblood?
Isn't that
Okay,
crazy?
yeah, that
That's
goes hard.
what?
I know. Crazy last name.
That goes hard.
Yo, I used to wrestle. Okay. And when I used to wrestle, they make a bracket. All right.
Ooh, okay. Yeah.
So you see a lot of names
Uh-huh.
on everything. The one kid had no first name. Legitimately, it just had no first name in like parentheses. Like he really didn't have a first name. I was like, no fucking way.
Did you win? Did you beat him?
I didn't wrestle him. He wasn't in my bracket.
Oh, thank the Lord.
I
bet
that's
you
something
won the
scary.
championship.
Tell me about your wristbands here. What do we got going on here? Got a lot of them. Fashion statement?
Nah, you know what? I've had these on for God knows how long at this point. Sometimes if they're not on both arms, then they're just on this one.
Okay.
Actually don't know why I do it. I just wear out my wristbands. One thing I will say about the wristbands, being like track meets.
Mm-hmm.
And I think now like it gives me like a mental advantage. Cause if you look over at a track meet and you see a sprinter, I do the 100. I run a 200. I'm a sprinter. I'm a short sprinter. You look over in the 100-meter and you see somebody, he's big, he's Aki, and he's got wristbands and zip ties on the spikes. Zip ties mean he wants nationals. So if you see somebody with like
hella wristbands,
yeah, because they probably also got the wristbands from the track mates too. There's a piece of you that's like, oh my goodness, like I'm about to get smoked.
That's interesting. That's interesting, bro. And with your wristbands right here, I mean, you could tell a little bit of characteristics about yourself. So with me looking at your wristbands, I'm like, all right, this guy is fit. He likes fitness. I think you have your ethnicity on that one, correct?
Yeah, my grandma Jamaican.
Okay, Jamaican. You can learn a lot from the wristbands. I think that's pretty funny because, as I mentioned with wrestling, we have the same kind of mindset a little bit. Because like when you're warming up, you're warming up. Me, I was a lazy wrestler. I didn't like to wrestle. It was just one of my side things, like one of those things I kept on the side. So for me, like my biggest thing, I would never warm up before a wrestling match. Like I would just like stretch, like do a very stagnant stretch. That's it. And my coach would be like, "Oh, why aren't you warming up?" I'm like, "Nah, like it's just, no, I'm good. I'll go in there cold-handed. Like I'm good."
Nah, you crazy.
I did that a lot. But like across from me is a guy like, and I was in a pretty athletic weight class, but me, I was a big boy at heart. So I wasn't athletic, but
strong.
I was, I had fundamentals and I had this one move that was like, if I hit it, you're done. Anyway, point being is like across the mat, you see that guy jumping up, like bringing his knees to his chest, doing like 3 backflips and shit in a row. I'm like, yo, and doing like shots so fluently. And I'm like, why are you doing all that for? You're just going to waste. But it would be one of those mental edges. Like it's to scare someone, it's like, ooh, you did a backflip. I'm fucked. And then the best thing is when they do the backflip and they fucking lose. They lose. It's like, ooh.
Oh yeah, that'd be my favorite thing because I'm a trash talker. I like to talk crazy. So I love seeing somebody who will like act like they're nice like before the race. Or like they act like they're nice before the basketball game and then they just go out there and get their ass whooped. I'd be hating low key.
That shit didn't work out for me. Like I would trash talk, but I'd be getting beat. I remember this one time I was getting beat in a wrestling match and like I was slated to lose. Like there was kind of no way that I could beat this guy.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like getting real mad about it. And I'm laughing at him, bro. Like in the match, like I'm just laughing at it. He's like, you're going to regret that. I'm like, yo, whoa, hold up. Don't talk to me like that. Like not in this scenario right now. Like chill the fuck out. So yeah, that's just, talk shit in wrestling. It was a lot of fun, but it is what it is. Wrestling was fun. It wasn't my main sport. Football was my main sport. I talk shit in that.
Are you so you're big on shit talking?
Only when I need to, bro. I'm not a shit talker. No, I'll be honest. Like I'm not a shit talker.
The game fun.
They do, but like I'd rather just like beat the shit out of you and like call it a day.
See, that's my thing. Like I don't really want to just beat you because I feel like when you're humble in your ass whoopings, nah, like for real, like. There's no character in this because to them, to the person that whoops your ass, right? Like, because I've been on both sides. Like, I've whooped somebody's ass and I've got my ass kicked, right? Like, I've beat somebody by an entire second and I've lost by an entire second. And I'd much rather beat the person by an entire second, because if they're talking to me, I'm gonna remember it. I'm gonna be like, oh yeah, you was the nigga that I smoked because I just beat you by an entire second and I gapped you at your home field. But on the other side of it, it's like, if you don't say anything, then I just happen to race against you and you just happen to be not good.
Mm.
And I'll probably forget that I beat you. I know, I'm serious. It creates character when you, like, when somebody was talking to you and like they ended up losing, or like you was talking to somebody, you ended up losing, you ended up winning. I think that because that creates rivalries.
Yeah.
Rivalries is, to me, they're created on hatred. And I like a rival. Like, my favorite thing to do is run against somebody who I don't like running against. Like, I don't know if that makes sense.
No, it does. It makes sense.
Yeah, like, I don't like you, so I want to race against you and I want to beat you.
Well, it's the same thing with football. You know,
Right.
For me, like, it's funny. You had mentioned South. Hogan Mountain West absolutely hates South.
Like,
Like,
I want to say everybody.
nah, well, we really hate, like, football wise, like South, like even our coaches, like the week of, don't leak this. The week of, we're like fuck South. We're like fuck South the entire week. Those little, we call them the little fucks from South. Like, and that's some real shit, bro. Like, I graduated, came back, helped coach for a day, and then the coach I called was like, hey, what do we call these guys, Kmart? And I'm like, those little fucks from South. And he's like, you're damn right we do. And I was like,
that's
damn,
funny as
some
hell.
real shit, bro. Rivalries, hatred, those games are firecrackers of a game. But
Oh yeah.
that was Tea Time, not brought to you by, but inspired by Arizona Iced Tea. Cheers.
One more.
And my good man. So tell me about what you got slated for the rest of the year, bro.
Coming up for the rest of the year for sure. I think, at least for now, I'm looking into the summer now. This next month, a lot of prom. You can see a lot of prom on my page, a lot of graduation on my page. I'm very excited for the summer, because in the summertime I'm gonna just be out and about. I'm probably do everything. You're probably gonna see like you're gonna see probably like a lot of recap videos I'm gonna be doing. I'll be doing a lot of projects that I wish I could have did last year that I'm gonna do this year.
Such as
Music videos for sure. It's
music
gonna be a lot
videos,
of music
okay.
videos. Definitely a lot of music videos. You're probably gonna see. I'm trying to get a studio. I want to do a lot more studio work.
Okay.
I work with one of my guys. He runs this page called Takeover Media. That's like a sports page that he started. Like, he's in school right now. He's working on once he graduates, he's gonna work further out that. But we wanna do an event, like a basketball event we've been talking about. And I wanna do like a magazine.
Okay.
Remember, I was just telling you how I
Yeah.
want to shoot for Vogue. So I definitely want to do like a magazine for him. We were talking about doing like a magazine shoot where, like, it'd be a cover. Just like I don't know if you've heard of Slam.
I haven't heard of Slam, not that one.
Okay, so Slam it's like a basketball magazine.
Okay.
And they'll get like the biggest basketball players like at the time, or they'll get like really big names in the basketball world. And that'll be like their cover for the month. So, like, oh yeah, like I was the January 2018 cover of Slam.
Yeah.
Like I want to, we're working on doing something like that.
But you want to create it for yourself and your own. So essentially creating your own magazine.
Right.
That'd be dope. That'd be super sick. You need a whole team for that. Do you have any writers in mind? Are you planning on having written passages in that?
I'm going to probably start with like the cover.
Okay.
And then as it goes, then we'll probably see how it goes. Maybe like we'll actually develop like a real life. Okay, like this is like an entire magazine. But it's coming.
I like that idea. I think it's grand. A lot of the things that you mentioned, I can more than likely help you out with that, whether it be in a Poconos or out here.
Mm-hmm.
I am familiar with the owner of the XFFL, which is an extreme flag football league in.
One of my guys plays there.
I'm sorry?
One of my guys plays in there.
Yeah, those guys are dogs.
Mm-hmm.
They really are. You want to talk about aggression and fucking rivalries there?
Right.
That's one of the spots to go capture it. And they have a wonderful media team, and they're always looking to expand. So I'm sure we can network you into there.
Tap me in.
Musical events. We had briefly talked about atmosphere. And potentially, more than likely, we'll figure that out. You know, we'll figure out how we can bring you on to that, because I'd like to help you transcend your portfolio into other avenues.
Facts.
You know, and work with other videographers,
Appreciate
photographers who do it. You know, because everyone does it. You know, like even you know DJ Q.
Of course.
Okay, so you know where's Fabio? You know I Love You Productions.
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
yeah. Those guys like.
You know, he was flaming me because I wore a bonnet one time to a shoot. He will never forget that.
Q's a man. He will be here next month.
Oh, really?
He will be here next month.
Oh, that's beautiful.
That's my ace, man. He's one of my guys. But yeah, no, nonetheless, like I know a lot of people, and you know, you are very hungry, very driven, very secure of yourself, and just carry yourself really, really well, bro.
Appreciate that. I appreciate it.
That's going to go a long way, bro. I really enjoyed this conversation.
Absolutely.
With this being your second interview, you know, make sure you guys check in on the One Life podcast and watch that interview, because that was your first one, right?
Facts.
And there's a lot of information that I tried not to reiterate because I, you know, wanted to learn more about you. So watch that interview. Shout out the One Life podcast. And then, you know, this is what it is, man. You're definitely on your way. You're young, you're hungry, and you're going to get it done. Why not us, right?
Absolutely.
Why not us? So
why not us?
With that being said, before we get off the air here, bro, I like to give the floor to my guests. If there's anything that you want to say to the people, anyone who's trying to get into this, you know, just any positive message or
absolutely
something that you live by, the floor is yours.
Yeah, absolutely. Biggest thing is when you want something, just ask God for it. And, you know, just take the resources he's going to give you. Because at the end of the day, you can do anything through the power of the Lord, and you can get anything done. But you got to grab it. You got to take it. You got to do it. You can't say you want to do something. You got to just do. So that's my message to anybody. Just do what you can. Think about the things that you want to do and get them done.
Hey, well, I appreciate you, man. I appreciate your time. I'm looking forward to see where you're going to go, whether it be New Jersey, hopefully one day into Miami, Florida, because that seems like
Facts.
the final destination for you, as a matter of fact.
Louisiana.
I'm sorry, Louisiana?
Yeah, in the bayou. You'd be like, baby.
Oh, man. And with that being said, everyone, please make sure you check out my boy.
Onias.
Good job. Onias Richardson,
Yeah.
shot by O. I am the man in the middle, Kevin Martinez.
Shout out to the Middleman Podcast.
Peace.